that.
All right, here we go. Here we go. That was hilarious. Like, we were literally just in the middle of the stream, and suddenly it's like, oh, computer restarts. Blue screen. Yep. What's going on? And Jacob and I just went...
YouTuber's best friend.
Yeah, Jacob and I just kind of looked at it and thought, I'll bet it was Crow. Like, come on, are you serious? Oh, man.
That's funny.
I mean, hey, this is our first time live streaming. Thank you for being gracious, guys, and not all just abandoning us. Hopefully, the computer decides to be not stupid. Okay, so back to where we were. We were in the middle about the...
We were talking... I think we were heading into the final...
Background of the letter.
Yeah.
Yes. So the backdrop of the letter. We've got everything back and going. Just to clarify and stuff. You guys can see us okay, right? Yeah. Okay, I think it's all back to normal now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was an adventure.
To take a look.
Yeah, that was an adventure. Okay, so backdrop of the letter. Josh, I think we were last talking with you, and you were mentioning kind of the menagerie kind of joke of how it was the same ship captain, and then you thought for a second that
yes,
it was
Yang was going to see Blake.
If that was the truth, then every Bumblebee fan would like just be in an uproar. No, nothing would be going on with them today. They'd be too happy.
Yeah,
which would have been hilarious.
Yeah, everyone refresh the page. Something went wrong with their computer, and it literally just crashed. We blame Crow's bad luck semblance. Yeah, yes. we were thinking the same thing. It was like, wait, is Yang is Yang going to menagerie?
Stated.
Right.
Yeah.
And
even though it was expressly stated by Yang that she left without saying anything, that just would have been great. Like the captain goes, "Oh, I know this cat faunus you're talking about." Chatting with them,
right?
I dropped her off, and she's like, "What?"
Yeah, that would have been funny. But instead, we get Yang going to the crossroads. It's like a literal story crossroads as well.
But I'm Tish.
Yeah. If you're having trouble getting the stream back, you can basically head back to the channel and then just go back to the actual stream part, because it should be. This might have to be split up into two parts and stuff, but it'll just take a little bit to get it back and stuff. Okay, so the bit with Yang and stuff. She's going to see RWBY, right? Like, is there anyone that thinks she's going to see Raven? I mean, it looked like she went to the right side of the fork in the road, but
we don't really know that because it did pan up before we even saw her move.
Yeah. So there's a decent possibility that it didn't go that she didn't go that way. So we've got. This is weird. My notes aren't showing up again.
I have one note about that road sign.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead.
Bandits was written over CRWBY.
CRWBY, that's right. And very express
were they
red
there?
ink.
Were they there hiding?
Yeah, good point. So
because that's where they just were.
Right, that's where Team Ranger just was at. And there were bandits supposedly hiding there?
So, did RWBY see that sign? Because
no.
Who wrote the bandits on that sign?
No, I think it's because Yang was coming from a different direction.
Okay, but I figured it was the one right before. It was like a path that they had actually already passed, but it was just a little confusing to me.
No, the crossroads sign that we see with all of Team Ranger has 3 areas listed, where this one only had 2.
Gotcha.
I noticed that, but I felt like they had crossed that sign, like, or it must have just been that they came from a different thing. It was just, I thought that RWBY wrote that on there as a joke, or like,
Oh.
like I could see Nora doing that as a little funny thing, or one of the characters just a little.
Sure. And then maybe, I mean, there's a possibility. It seemed like, though, that would be a sign that would have come from a different direction because Yang is traveling from ship, which means she probably went around the a good portion of the Anima continent before actually getting off and on her bike and stuff. So,
speaking of the Mistral continent, this crossed my mind. I totally forgot that they were heading to Mistral. For some reason, I was thinking they were heading to Vacchio, even though I knew it. But I totally got them mixed up for a while.
Okay.
That comment a few episodes ago about only taking a couple of weeks, it makes more sense now because they were on boat. I feel like they were on boat for that amount of time, and that Yang stuff was a little bit in the past, not actually as on time. Even though it felt that way, I felt like it was supposed to be backwards a bit.
Yeah,
and that the boat ride was a bit longer for Yang or RWBY or however they got over to country.
Yeah, and that was a thing that Jacob and I have discussed, is that the plot seemed a little bit non-linear at points. Like the time that Yang and Blake and Weiss are experiencing doesn't fit linearly episode to episode with what Ranger is experiencing, and that allows time for Yang to have been on the boat for a decent amount of time, and it's not like she just suddenly teleported over to where she needs to be.
Even though that's what it felt like.
It might have felt like that, yeah.
Although she also has the motorcycle, so she'll make much better time.
Yes, she will make a lot better time because she's traveling alone and has a motorcycle. What was that, Rusty?
I would say I had that same idea as well, that the time frame of everything taking place, they were showing it at the same time, but it was happening in different time frames.
Right, and it's hard to do that story-wise and have it, seem well done. But the fact that they're doing it is ambitious enough that it's like, give them a chance, because they can basically resolve a lot of the pacing issues by having Volume 5 kind of converge all the plot lines, and then based on how they converge, that gives us more context for the pacing of Volume 4.
Time frame.
Yeah, exactly, the time frame and stuff. So the next thing that kind of really hits us as kind of a twist is something that I know some of the fandom thought that Watts might have actually been the headmaster at Beacon, but then once we found out that the headmaster's name was Leo, it only made sense if the guy's name was Leo Watts for that theory to work. But then we find out that no, Leo Lionheart is the name of the headmaster, but Watts has got him wrapped around his finger and has manipulated him with Salem. So, what do you guys think about that? Sonatro, how about you go first?
I can't English right now because that just caught me so off guard.
Oh yeah?
I was just like, what's going on? I need an adult. Wait, I have an adult.
Josh, what did you think about it?
To be honest, I kind of expected it, but when they said Leo, last episode or the episode before, I immediately thought that I didn't think it was Watts. I never thought Watts was headmaster. So when they did that, I kind of expected it. I understood that he was based on the Cowardly Lion.
Right.
So the idea that he was working with Salem had crossed my mind. Before, it was a lot more emotional once you get it all out in the open and such.
Yeah. Rusty, did you have any kind of things in your notes about the twist as well, or what you thought about it?
Oh, well, I marked down that it was a thing, but I had my assumptions a couple chapters ago, back when Crow said he hadn't heard from the headmaster since before the fall of Beacon, which is very
Oh,
odd.
yeah. That was foreshadowing then I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Leo Lionheart, which is basically like kind of shoving it in our face that he is the cowardly lion from the Wizard of Oz storyline. Does that mean he's a faunus? A lion faunus?
I would
would
love
be
to
cool.
see a mane. I would love to see a mane.
We only got to see a bit of his arm, it looked like. I think that was his clothing. I don't think that was fur necessarily.
Probably.
But
I think so too.
yeah, but an actual like lion faunus headmaster, I think that sounds fantastic. Jacob, did you have anything to talk about the plot twist with Watts collaborating with the Haven headmaster?
Well, it made the whole no safe haven thing make a lot of sense, but it also, one of the things that I really liked about it is that if Volume 3 ended and it was really intense, and then it goes and it's more of like setting up like foreboding of things to come. Mm-hmm. This season was a lot more mellow and character development moments and like that, but now it's setting it up of like, oh crap, what's going to happen in season 5 because they're essentially now in enemy territory.
Yes, that's a very good point. The world of Remnant set up Mistral to have this very dual society where you have the upper class is kind of segregated from the rest and has their own kind of cloistered culture where everything kind of works for them, and then the lower class where it's more dangerous. It's more of kind of got that black market thing going on. But No Safe Haven is even more rubbed in because Haven, the school in particularly, now has a headmaster that's colluding or collaborating with Salem via Watts. And I think that's also cool because Watts is kind of now, I think, being set up as the anti-Ironwood foil. Like he's the political, the political pawn of Salem. He's, going to be the enemy in plain sight that you won't necessarily be able to say like, oh, he's a villain. He's just causing problems on that side. So what do you think of Watts going to be in Volume 5, guys?
Well, before anybody says anything about that, I just wanted to point out that we didn't even have to. We knew that Mistral was pretty divided even just from Volume 3, if you remember Cinder's speech.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's all I wanted to say.
That's a great call out. She said it was equally undesirable.
Right. I like that now Watts is basically a nice opposite from Tyrion. Tyrion was the villain that we got introduced to from, Team Witch, and he's just over the top. Whereas Watts is now if you think about it, he's the complete opposite of Tyrion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't know too much about his character, but he does have that prim, proper, very sophisticated accent and stuff. So
very calculated.
Yes, that's another good thing. That's kind of to make reference to his name. There's Watts, like Watts of energy and stuff, but
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Yeah, elementary, my dear Watson.
Exactly.
Like he could be a bad Sherlock, basically. I don't know. That's
his first name was revealed in the credits.
Oh,
his
yes.
first name is Arthur.
Arthur. Oh.
Based on Arthur Conan Doyle.
Oh. Well played.
Nice.
Okay. So
you
that's
mentioned
just
how
Watts.
Yeah, pretty much. You mentioned how Watts was sort of like a foil for Oz. I think Hazel is another foil.
For Ironwood.
And Hazel is Ozpin's opposite. And like each person has their own enemy, and how I think that so Ozpin's team has, I believe the number is about 7, and there have been a lot of theories that Salem's team has 7 based on all the chairs that were in the thing.
Yes.
But that we haven't met 2 of them. So I think the 2 that we're missing are the foil for whoever is Dorothy, and the opposite of Lionheart.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, because I could see RWBY going on for a decent amount of time and us continually getting introduced to new side villains and stuff that are Servants of Salem.
So, oh,
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out there was a theory on the RWBY Amino where who was the guy that tried to hit on Weiss during the party?
Nobody.
Yeah, his
Marigold.
last name was Marigold. I don't remember. He was Discount Neptune, as far as I'm concerned.
Henry.
Henry Marigold.
Marigold.
That's right.
There's a theory on the RWBY Amino that he's part of Salem's group.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll check that out.
He just seemed stuck up to me.
Yeah, I feel like he was a casual throwaway character, but he did get a name, so we can't throw him out. Any character that gets a name has the potential to be important. I mean, even a character that doesn't get a name. But yeah, Rusty's keeping us realistic here with the it's probably not gonna happen. We got Stoic Drugs saying he's just shitty Neptune.
On the Wizard of Oz thing, I've also found that I think RWBY is supposed to be. I know she's based on the Red Riding Hood, but I feel like she's also playing a role in Ozpin's team as the RWBY Slippers.
Huh. Clever.
Nice.
Yeah. As opposed to being Dorothy or something.
Yeah, I honestly, when I first started like really delving into this whole theory, the idea was that she was Dorothy, but when I thought about it, I was like, no, she's the RWBY Slippers. I think Summer is supposed to be Dorothy.
Sure.
She accidentally put her daughter to become the weapon to take out Salem, sort of idea.
Gotcha.
Although, the RWBY Slippers were actually made by the Wicked Witch. If you want to go into the real lore.
I haven't read all of the Wizard of Oz. I'm trying to go through it right now.
Well, I'm going based off the lore that was introduced in Wicked.
Oh.
Okay.
The Wicked Witch basically put a spell on the shoes to allow her paralyzed sister, the witch that was landed on with the house,
to walk.
She was in charge of a country. She was paralyzed. The slippers allowed her to walk.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, well, let's definitely get into the multi-layered theories of the whole lore here in a second. But how about the new credits song? And basically, there were some also moments in the credits that Josh noticed where there were some funny shout-outs on there. So, what did you guys think about the song? I was absolutely floored. I loved it.
Oh my god!
It
was amazing.
Oh, so good.
And I'm still not even sure who it's supposed to be based on, because most of the credit scenes have been based on a specific character. Like the first one, Volume 1, was definitely based on, what's her name? Yang, or not Yang, Blake.
Blake, yeah.
It was Wings, and it was definitely based on like Blake. And so I feel like Armed and Ready was either Yang or it was another one, but I need to listen to the true lyrics because I was more reading the credits than listening to the lyrics.
Gotcha.
Well, earlier on Amino, M posted a link to the page that actually had the lyrics, and it is very much about Yang.
Oh, it's very much about Yang? Awesome.
Because there was a line about her making revenge on the one who took away from her, or something like that.
There's also a line about burning gold.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll check that out on the Amino. I'll bring that up on my phone real quick.
Dang.
That's legit. The credit shoutouts that you saw, Josh, what were those?
Oh, so right at the very end, they were talking about like the security team for all the people who helped RWBY, and they were like listing the kids. So Teddy Burns, son of Bernie, and there were a couple of other kids or parents of people who worked on the project. But then they named like Kevin, the dragon, and And there were little things where it's like they were totally having fun with like just throwing people who they knew, and you don't necessarily have to really look for it, but they're there just if you're looking. It was sort of funny like that.
Oh,
I
that's
believe they did that the last couple volumes as well with pet names.
Yeah, Joe was on there. Joe the cat was on there.
that's awesome.
That's pretty
Oh
good.
my gosh.
But
Okay. Wow.
Xeno Wise has said this a couple of times. They name off all the people and their last names. So we finally learned Tyrion's last name, and Hazel and Watts, his full name, as well as Oscar.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have those?
Yeah, I have them in front of me. So Arthur Watts,
Arthur Watts. Okay.
Tyrion Callows,
And could you spell the Kalos for Tyrion?
Callows.
Oh. Oh, I've got some thoughts on that, but I'll save them for later. Keep going.
Hazel Reinhardt.
Reinhardt, like Reinhht.
Nope.
Oh.
Rainart. Reinhardt, literally.
Oh. Okay.
That sounds like Reinhardt.
No. Just a girl, Emmy. That's the Carrows. I know you're thinking of from Harry Potter. He said Callows. You're thinking of the Carrows from Deathly Hallows. Yeah.
And the last one is
the last
Oscar. Oscar Pine.
Oh my gosh. That's
Did
funny.
they really go with Oscar Pine?
Yeah. That's great. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Bill Ozpin.
Yeah, exactly. It's Ozpin. It's like literally they're just being like, "Hey, by the way, it's Ozpin." And speaking of Oscar and Ozpin,
Yes.
that end credit scene. Oh my gosh. Like when I was doing my reaction with Jacob, we were like, "Okay, this end credit scene, it has to be out something about Ozpin or Salem and, some kind of development there." And then we see Crow at the
Holy
bar,
crap.
and
Oscar walks out.
Oscar walks in. Oh my gosh, that was so great. And he's like, "I think you're a little too young to be in here," or something.
That was such a good line.
Yeah.
I'm supposed
And he's
to
like,
ask you
I
for
want my cane back,
Oh my god.
What was that, Rusty?
Oh, I was just saying the exact same thing.
I'm supposed to ask you for my cane back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
And you realize, like, that's Oscar still seeking validation that what he's doing is the right thing.
Yes.
And then if you think about it as kind of a hero's journey thing, Oscar is kind of like that Luke Skywalker who gets that call to action to leave his little farmhouse, and then
To save
some
the
old
princess?
kind of, but then he gets the special item given to him.
And he takes it, and almost immediately it activates.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
It extends.
Yep. Oh, Rusty, you're so funny. I know exactly what you're thinking. Okay.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. Wow. Moving on.
I just want I have the high ground moment.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
that might
amazing.
happen. Who knows?
I'm so
Okay.
excited
You still
to
haven't
see
gotten
them
a photo.
meet RWBY, Team Ranger though.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. He's gonna get to meet Team Ranger. It's gonna be hilarious. I mean, it's gonna be fantastic because Ozpin isn't a kid. You remember when Ruby sees the Pumpkin Pete's T-shirt? She's like, "What is that?" I think Ruby's gonna have that moment with Oscar when she's gonna be like, "Hi, I'm Ozpin," and she's gonna be like, "He's like a cute little 12-year-old or something like that."
Oh, that'd be so amazing.
Please.
And they're gonna be like, "Oh, he's so adorable. Hi, Ozpin," and he's gonna be like, "Ow, what the heck? Like, I don't know you guys."
Leave me alone.
Do you think he's?
There is.
I want to get into speculation a little bit, like just a little bit, because this leads into Volume 5. Do you feel
that's where I was trying to go right here, real quick?
Yeah, go for
Something
it.
that came up that we skipped over.
Oh.
Cinder
what's that?
is now back on the board.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, I forgot about
so
that
right.
scene.
We forgot about that.
She is now a player on the field again.
Oh, and not only that, she was having Emerald create ruby illusions of her kneeling down begging for mercy while Cinder just incinerated her.
It still frustrates me that she's using the Volume 4 outfit when they've never seen it. Just that little
That's a good point.
nitpick.
Yeah.
But they're using the wrong character model.
Oh, shoot. Good catch.
Tyrion
Yeah.
was there. Tyrion did see it. He could have told them.
Did Tyrion take a picture?
Tyrion didn't care. Tyrion wouldn't have cared. He would have been too insane at that point to be...
Yeah, Tyrion could have told them, but it's not like Salem has recording eyes inside of Tyrion's view, or like anything Tyrion sees, Salem sees, because she's the overlord.
He doesn't have a GoPro.
Right, he doesn't have a GoPro.
Well,
he wasn't live streaming his fight with Crow, being like, check it out, bro. I'm totally taking on Crow. No big deal.
This would be crazy, but here's a convoluted way it could work.
Oh, okay.
We have that Overseer Tentacle Grim.
Ooh.
What if it
Oh.
saw them through the Nuclevy?
Exactly. That's where I was just going to go with that.
Okay, yeah, and someone posted out in the chat, it's like, unless Salem can see through the Grim. I think that's possible, but I think it would remove the point of having that seer Grim. I think or Bob the Seek Grim could have seen that. Yeah, that's a great name for him, Bob the Seek Grim. Oh my god, I love all the names the fandom comes up with for these unique Grim. They're just fantastic. Okay,
Didn't we call?
go ahead. No, go ahead. It's fine.
Didn't we call the Sea Dragon Baron?
Barry?
That
Barry.
was what we came up with during one of our games.
One of our Quiplash games. Yeah, that was hilarious. Barry the
Shameless
Sea
plug.
Dragon. Yep. Yeah. We'll be talking about that before the stream's over for sure.
Sorry about that.
No, it's cool. But so Volume 4, it's over. It was different. It was exciting. It was thrilling. It had like tons of cliffhangers. Let's go around one at a time and give everyone some chance to talk about what they liked, they didn't like, and just general overall feels for the volume as a whole. So let's start with Jacob. You haven't done a good long talk in a bit.
There were a lot of great character moments in this season, that possibly as many as we've had in the whole rest of the show combined. Like, from starting it off in, what was it, episode 2 with like the Jean and the Pyrrha recording and everything.
Yeah,
that was just amazing. And like they kept on doing it, like, because plot wise it was pretty slow compared to like Volume 3. But again and again and again, we just had these awesome bits of development for the characters, and like that's what I like most in a story. So I absolutely loved that.
Awesome. So that was the high notes for you. Was
Oh
character
yeah.
moments after character moments. Were there any things that you like wish they could have improved, or you were just like, I didn't care for that?
I wanted more conflict for the other characters.
Right.
So like Team Ranger had a bunch of conflict, fighting Grimm and all that stuff. And then the whole thing with Tyrion. But if you think about like Weiss, Blake, and Yang, like Weiss had her confrontation at the charity thing, and then Blake and Sun fought what was her name? Ilya. But other than that, they didn't have much actual like fighting, it seemed. And I would have really liked to see Adam go on a rampage in Menagerie.
Gotcha.
That would have been cool.
So if anything, you didn't mind the slow parts because it was, so character driven, but the slow parts for the non-RWBY characters were just a bit slow. They're just a bit too slow.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's go for who wants to go next?
I'm actually of quite a separate mind on that.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
I feel like I'm in like the great minority that really enjoyed all those slow moments.
Oh,
A
gotcha.
lot of people didn't like that it was so slow, but it acted as more of a character piece.
Yeah.
Like in the sense that I don't know if any of you have seen it, but the movie Birdman with Michael Keaton.
Oh, that's a good
It was
movie.
a very slow movie.
Yeah.
But it was very character driven, and it was a story about the character himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what this volume felt like to me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Were there any things that that you would have liked to see maybe more of, or you wish they wouldn't have done?
I would have liked to hear more of Summer.
Oh, sure. Maybe just
We have
more
had no
development
mention
about
of
her,
her.
or more like specifically just talk about her.
Just so we know more about her. I expected Crow to go into a spiel about the Silver-Eyed Warriors and talk more on Summer at the same time.
Sure. Yeah. And I guess that's gonna have to be saved for later. Okay. Yeah. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Go for it.
I also kind of wanted more Summer, but I want more just like Team Stark in general, and just like more of the history of like where how like the relationship between Raven and the rest of the team fell through, and just like all that.
Yeah.
There were also a couple of things that I sort of hoped. Oh, what was it? When Crow was poisoned, he started hallucinating, and I thought like there'd be a moment where he'd hallucinate out and finally like explain or like go a little more in depth instead of just that one line. Like there would have been perfect times like right before the Knuckle fight, or right before Jean ran to the Knuckle fight in this episode. He grabbed his hand and was like, that would have been like a perfect moment to say just like some little thing back to an old character who sort of stuff.
Don't let Summer die or something like that.
Yeah.
As if
exactly.
His hallucination caused him to see young Tai instead of Jean.
Sure.
Yeah. Young Tai, or instead of Ruby, young Summer, that sort of thing.
That would have been really cool, because they did that in the finale with Ren and Nora.
Yep.
But if they had done that there, the fandom would have lost its crap. Like, they would have lost their minds.
Oh, yeah.
One, because we've never seen Summer Rose animated,
right,
and actually like moving around and stuff. So that
she hasn't even got
a face in a picture.
Right, we just have a face in a picture.
That is all we have.
So I think they're saving that for a more focused Team Stark flashback, and that's coming. We already know that's coming. Monty technically spoiled it while he was still around. I think it was at an RTX. It was kind of indirectly spoiled too, and fans have kind of gone back and looked at it and been like, we know what he's talking about now. So there's that, or at least I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Sonatro, what are your thoughts about the volume as a whole?
Oh, hold on.
Okay, you go ahead and I'll talk about my thoughts about it. The volume as a whole felt very volume 1. You remember how when we were first, everyone goes through their first experience watching RWBY, and volume 1 is setting up all these characters. Okay? In volume 4, it wasn't really setting up the characters per se, because we had already introduced them. It wasn't introductions. It was more of where have they come from since the trauma of volume 3. So everyone's kind of moving forward in a Monty-esque kind of fashion. Everyone's taking their next step forward on their journey, and I feel like each person's step was kind of the natural reaction of where their characters had progressed to that point, and it kind of bugged a few of us, because it's like, but come on, Blake, when are you gonna stop running? And it's like, took
the entire volume.
Right, it's like, Weiss, come on, you got to stand up for yourself, and all those things eventually happen. But I feel like the CRWBY they didn't want to have development too much happen off screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they used basically this volume as a setup to show that development as it builds into the more intense volumes coming up for like whatever the next arc is. Whatever happens at Haven. So I really loved the volume. It did have some pacing issues and stuff, and some bits that were a little bit different and stuff. But I really loved just the volume as a whole. I was absolutely floored by all the creative moments that they just put into this volume. They really just put a lot of their heart and soul into it. And then if anything, I was kind of traumatized by the overuse of cliffhangers. Like Rooster Teeth was really pushing the limits as to how many cliffhanger episodes you can have in a row before it gets a little bit like, all right, Rooster Teeth, calm down. I think.
Was there a single episode where there wasn't a cliffhanger this volume?
I don't know. I'll have to go back and check.
The John watching the pair recording.
I think that's
Probably
the
that,
only
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Like that one fits so well to not be a cliffhanger.
Well, with it being Rooster Teeth, you should expect it. I mean, how many episodes of Red vs. Blue ended in cliffhangers? Like every single one.
True, but this is a different this is a semi-different writing team, and
Yes,
and Monty didn't work on the writing of Red vs. Blue, so the structure that Monty has in place, kind of the plot outline, I'm sure that gives maybe enough difference to where it wouldn't be like that. But yeah, on an episode by episode basis, which is probably more handled by the group as a whole. Yeah, there's probably guaranteed to be a lot of cliffhangers and stuff. And I think they saw what worked in Volume 3, and they're like, yeah, well, we'll keep that up.
There's a comment saying Rooster Teeth Semblance is cliffhanger.
Rooster Teeth Semblance is cliffhanger, yep. and then this is the Haven arc, aka the Search for Answers arc. Yeah, so moving forward.
Wait.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Sonatro.
What's up,
yeah.
Sonatro?
Yeah.
Sorry. You said that Semblance, you said that a lot of development didn't happen off screen. I entirely disagree with that.
Oh, go for it, yeah. Please go for it, yeah.
What happened to Yang having PTSD?
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Then we see that, and then the next time she's immediately better. We never see her while she's fighting.
The next moment is the.
Is her sparring with Ty.
No, her next moment is in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's the nightmare.
Yeah. Okay.
But, like, why would we not have anything after that?
Well,
We don't know what
my
triggers
thought on
it.
that.
I suppose so, but...
Go, Rusty.
Yeah, go for it.
So here's my thought on that is she is suffering from it, but it is certain things that trigger it. It was the sound of the glass breaking originally.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Right.
It was a sudden shock. It slipped, hit the ground, and made her jump, and then it hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel in this next volume we will see these moments happen multiple times.
Sure, because she hasn't physically seen Adam again yet, and that would
Yes.
definitely send her back into a PTSD moment. So I don't think it's over. I just think it's something that they just kind of tapped into.
Yeah.
Also, Bleak's parents getting all the information about Adam wanting to overthrow the White Fang off screen.
Well, that I was meaning what happened in between the 6 months.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, that was basically Gira taking a look through Ilya's phone. I'm guessing, like,
But, like, the fact that Blake and Son didn't figure that out, and that was information that was learned off screen, that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Sure, I agree, because generally storytelling is either a type of showing or telling, and or combination of the two. So when you don't show and you tell it kind of after you kind of should have shown it, it does feel a little cheap. But there are some areas where it's like, what are they going to do? They're going to show him like scrolling through the phone and reading text of, these are our plans to attack Haven Academy. I think if anything, it just shows that RWBY's not a perfect show, and it has areas in the storytelling where they need to kind of move things along quickly. So
and there was also
Weiss.
There was also Weiss just being able to summon. Like, it didn't show her practicing at all. Which
It was the
I-
second try. It was
Yeah.
second try.
Yeah.
that bothered me. But
Well,
besides,
that was also
Third,
yeah.
third, if you include that moment right at the end of Volume 3.
Yeah.
That's true. So, yeah, there's an evolution of the girls, or at least some of them, their abilities and their semblances and stuff that's happened. I think RWBY, if anything, we saw a more capable RWBY with her semblance in particular.
Mhm.
I remember a lot of people were maybe freaking out a little bit too much with the character short trailer. Remember when they saw RWBY split into 3
Flying through the air and
flying
everything.
through the air things, and then her cape was just all over the place? We didn't really see that this volume, but we did see RWBY fighting the Geist Golem Grim, like flying around like all throughout the air. And that's in a way, that's not character development, but it is kind of growth in her abilities. And that was just
on that fight quick.
Yeah.
She was able to carry
Nora.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we know it's increased because she had a difficult time carrying Penny in Volume 2.
Sure.
Penny's also a robot. But
Yeah.
But
Penny's heavier.
Probably
Yeah.
2 tons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, there is a point where she's starting to get the hang of it. She's able to carry a person with her more easily.
That's true.
Sure.
That's true.
Okay.
And that was actually my highlight of the volume was the fights. I just thought the fights were all just so amazing for me.
Cool. Yeah. It's some really creative fights.
I think the fight choreography in Volume 3 was already good, but it just got even better for me in Volume 4.
Nice.
My favorite moment in any of the fight scenes was right after Crow gets pulled down into the building. RWBY runs over to him, but then he gets thrown out the wall, and him throwing the sword and then landing right on top of him.
Yes. That was
amazing.
That was so good.
That felt like so Monty. It was just what was. It was so like reminiscent of the trailer, and I saw right after that on a Tumblr post. There was him doing that, and then it showed RWBY practicing landing on her scythe like she was on it in the red trailer.
Right.
And it was like, no, just like I showed you, and it was just like this little thing, but it was so funny. But it shows just how much more capable he is, that he's able to think ahead, and this is how he's able to do it.
Okay.
And how capable of a huntsman he actually is.
Yes. We brought up something actually really good that we definitely should do. Name, don't make me think too hard about it, but like, what's the first moment that comes to your head as the Volume 4 highlight? Like, the thing that you just go, oh, yeah, that moment. That's so memorable, or one of my favorite moments. I will go first to give you guys a little bit of time to think, but my favorite moment in Volume 4, I wanted to say CRWBY, but when Pyrrha and her voice, you hear it for that first time in the second episode.
Like when you're hearing it faintly?
You're hearing it faintly, and then RWBY wakes up and heads over and sees John practicing, and then the video hits on that loop. That was so good. That was just so good. I don't know. The feels just hit me really hard. So I'm gonna say that I haven't thought too much about this, but that was my favorite moment. All right, we got someone that's heading out. See ya, Geek Goddess.
And we did notice the Full Metal Alchemist brothers reuniting.
Yes, that was a great comment. All right, but what about the rest of you guys? Who's got a moment that they would say?
Wait, what's this about the reuniting thing? I missed it.
Yeah, so Aaron Dismuke is Oscar. He's Alphonse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then Crow is Victor Yana.
Right.
Is Edward?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that Oscar was played by Al.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so amazing.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. All right, so anyone else got their moment picked out?
I think.
I do.
Oh,
you guys go.
Go, Rusty.
I've got a part where I completely lost it. But that's just the inner JRPG Final Fantasy nerd in me.
Uh-huh.
It's the Sea Dragon.
The sea dragon.
Oh,
It
Yeah.
Yeah.
it very much 100% reminded me of Leviathan the first time I saw it come out of the water.
Okay.
Final Fantasy IV.
Just any
The
Final Fantasy,
series in general.
Leviathan, the summoning. He is like one of my favorite summonings aside from Bahamut and Ifrit. It's Leviathan.
Nice. Awesome.
And I completely lost it at that point. I went complete fanboy over that.
That's great. Yeah, it was a really cool Grim. All right, who wants to go next?
I guess I will.
Okay, go for it.
It's kind of a weird one, but it's like when Tyrion like kind of jumps down, like after Rangers like first fighting him, and he's like doing the splits like in between the building.
The superhero landing. Yes.
Yes, but like after that, when he's pointing to everyone, he's like, "I'm not interested in you. I'm not interested in you," and then he points to John. It's like, maybe you, or what was the line?
He's like, you interest me a bit or a little, and he's like, what?
But that kind of like sums up the volume for me, where it's just like, there were some parts where it just you kind of I personally kind of lost a bit of interest because it was just moving too slow, and
Gotcha.
it was pacing issues were rife throughout the volume, but that was but volume 4, sorry, I tend to stutter a lot.
No issue.
But there were some things in volume 4 that just kind of made me question things.
Gotcha. And this kind of moment where Tyrion is kind of going, that doesn't interest me, but wait, this is pretty interesting. That
Yes.
kind of felt like the microcosm of the volume as a whole to you.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. I mean, it was a fun moment, too, because also Jean gets really creeped out. Like, wait, what? What? I don't even know you. What the heck? What do you mean I interest you? And then RWBY interrupts him and stuff. All right, so Josh, what about you?
Mine's from the first episode, surprisingly. It's
Okay.
Right after Jean takes off his armor and you see his hoodie for the first time, the under it.
Yeah.
And RWBY bursts out laughing. It shows they're still kids.
Yeah.
Sure.
And like they're still like, you got to remember that they might be like, they've seen war, but they're
Right.
still kids at heart. And there's so much like that you need to understand that this is a lot darker than what anything that they had ever thought possible when they were, well, not Ren and Nora, but they saw this sort of thing through the Nuclevi when they were growing up. But like RWBY always saw that being a huntsman was like the dream job, but it was like,
Right.
they're still kids and they're still learning all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was
a fun
that's a
moment.
good
It was
point.
also like one of the jokes I remember that I didn't get initially because I thought it was almost a little bit insensitive of RWBY, and I was just not really cluing into what was going on. But Jacob, what was your highlight moment?
So, one of the reasons that I really love RWBY, it is an amazing show. But one of my favorite parts about it is the soundtrack.
Oh.
And that part, when in episode 6, I think it was episode 6, and you're panning up from Team Ranger, and it goes to the moon, and you hear the song start playing, but you don't know it's Weiss.
Oh.
And then it cuts to Weiss, and she has that 30 seconds of just
belting her beautiful
amazing,
voice. Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
Where she's suddenly voiced by Casey.
Yep, that's also true.
Yeah, exactly. Where she's suddenly voiced by Casey. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so amazing. Like, I am so excited for the soundtrack to come out just so I can listen to that song over and over and over again.
Yes.
And Crow's theme too.
Yeah. Crow's theme during the fight was really crazy because it had a very heavy lyric emphasis, which basically was revealing the bad luck charm, even before he tells us in the next episode. So that had a very I'm the one aspect to it.
Sure.
Where I'm the one kind of hints at Emerald's hallucinations.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a very well done use of a character song.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay, so we've gone through tons of fantastic stuff. We've been going. We had that little hiccup in the middle, but we've been going strong for an hour and a half.
Dang it, Crow!
This is awesome. Yeah, dang it, Crow. That was stupid. That whole computer crash or whatever. But I want to hear from people like in the comments and stuff. Do you have any like questions for us or things in particular that you're like, ooh, this part in RWBY Volume 4, or specifically something from the finale, we should talk about, or maybe something hinting at Volume 5, something about where the show has come from. With volumes 1, 2, and 3, basically anything along those lines. All right, we've got a few coming in thus far. We've got Bastian Solinger saying, "What are your guys' top 5 characters?"
Ooh.
So should each of us give our top 1, or should each of us give our top 5?
I think 5 might be a little bit too much, but let's do top 3, like really quick, not like a whole lot of in depth into it, but like top 3. Jacob,
well,
you I
not
know
necessarily in order, but Roman's on there, even though he's dead.
Whoa, awesome!
I don't care. Like every scene he was in was awesome, and I missed that he wasn't in there. Same with Neo. But then RWBY is great as a character. I love what they're doing with her character. It's awesome. And then after that, I would probably say Nora.
Wow, yeah.
Nora.
All right, so for me, I've always had a real special place in my heart for Ozpin as a character. I feel like Ozpin is Monty. Like, there's maybe aspects, maybe it's because he created the show from the inception part of coming into with the ideas of how this world would work and stuff. But Ozpin has kind of been my favorite kind of focus point into this world. But as for like just which character I was so excited to always have on screen, I am a huge sucker for just a good main character, and RWBY is just such a fantastic main character. Oh, yeah. So awesome. And then the whole aspect with developing Jean, like over the course of 3 volumes in particular, and then even adding on to that development here, has kind of pushed him up a few levels in my mind. I absolutely love Jean as a character now, and he's had some really cool moments in this volume in particular.
He did.
All right, who wants to go next?
I suppose I will.
Yeah, go for it.
Oscar, just as a point of view character, he serves as a point of view, like something that we can relate to, where he is just he's a farmhand. He has no idea what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. And suddenly all this stuff happens to him.
And he's just thrust into this situation. And like he's scared. You can definitely he's definitely scared, but he's still going through with it.
Yeah. Awesome. So is that your third favorite or just a favorite?
That's just a favorite.
Cool. Awesome.
Hazel, actually.
Really?
Because Hazel has this like really big air of mystery around him.
He does.
Just the vibe he gives off.
It's his vibe.
Yeah. Also, he's voiced by Christopher Sabat, which is freaking Vegeta.
Goku?
It's Vegeta, and it's also Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh my gosh! I need Hazel to meet Crow now.
That's right. Because holy crap! And Hazel talked to Oscar that one time. So that was literally Armstrong
Oh, talking with Al.
and Al.
Yep.
Oh.
All right,
We
so you
need
got
all
Hazel and Oscar. What about another favorite character?
And third, I'm keeping Neo in there.
You keep
Yes,
Neo in there.
Neo needs
I
to
love
come
how
back.
you love the characters that kind of make their little splashes, but they
Don't say
they have
anything.
that mystery
They leave
to
the
them
mark.
and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
I love.
sound off in the comments what your top 3 characters are as well.
I-
We'd love to
I
hear
love-
those as well.
I love silent characters because they always have the biggest story to tell.
They're also very
Sure.
fun to
I
write
like it.
for, actually.
Yeah, they are pretty fun to write for. How about you, Josh or Rusty?
Go ahead, Rusty. I'm still trying to remember
Oh,
them all.
Okay. I'd have to say Crow, of course.
Crow, yeah, Crow.
And
Crow was a very good
again-
character.
Again, I will add Neo in there.
Yes.
Neo.
And then, probably to the dislike of a large majority after this volume, Blake is up there.
Hey, we got a Blake fan. Woo!
Woo.
I mean, I'm a fan of Blake too, but yeah, she's not my favorite.
But
character.
she's not. Yeah, she's not in anybody's top 5 anymore.
Well, I mean,
Rusty, always the contrarian.
there's probably someone that's got her as her top favorite. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Josh, what about you? Josh is
Josh
in
is
deep
dead.
thought.
It's because all the characters he likes are dead.
Oh, he likes all the redheads.
Oh.
I mean, Nora's still alive for now.
If Nora dies, I riot.
She hasn't had she hasn't had any character development yet. She's safe.
Yeah, she still needs a little bit more. Yeah,
That's true.
we got a lot of love for Crow in the comments. We got some love for Weiss, Penny.
Surprisingly, Sun.
Yeah, Pyrrha, of course. We've got who else? Cinder.
Mama Belladonna there.
Someone put Cinder.
Cinder was actually a very good character this volume.
Yeah,
I agree, yeah.
Not many moments, but they were so
Oh
good.
yeah, we got Mama Belladonna. Yeah.
Mama Belladonna.
Oh my gosh. Let's look and see if we missed any questions and stuff while Josh is getting back.
Hey.
I don't think so.
Oh, now he's back.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, what are your 3 favorite characters?
It's really hard to say. Like, I have to say Crow too.
Crow.
'Cause
Yeah.
from just the first moment, like his first scene, with him versus Winter, it was just he had such a fun personality and air, and it's just like you just gotta love him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
He was drunk. He's always drunk.
Yeah. He's.
and then they look
show.
over,
Yep.
and then and then Roman, I have to go with
Roman.
him too,
Yeah.
because there's just so much fun that he has that
Oh yeah.
you can't get with any other type of character.
That's
Nope.
true.
You like the show stealers.
Yeah.
I do.
They have
And
the
Pyrrha.
rule of cool vibe about them. So what about number 3?
I'll have to go with Pyrrha, mainly because I've recently started finding newer fanfics with her. But she's so much fun to be around too, and the little jokes and all that stuff, and just her being willing to hold off for John, because he has that thing for Weiss, but that whole debacle, and it's just he has such a nice feel about it, and I just love her as the fighter who holds back in order to make it so that the others feel like they have the strength to keep up with her, because she was
Yeah.
able to fight. She fought for that long with Cinder. I don't think anyone else on Team Juniper could have done that, but
Oh, definitely.
but you wouldn't have known how powerful she was before that.
Right.
Well, she did beat Team Cardinal by herself, but that's not saying much.
Oh,
No,
that's
that's
not
not.
saying much. Cinder was a maiden, and not a very powerful maiden at that point, but she was still a maiden, and her aura was seemingly invincible too. I mean, she could catch Pyrrha's weapon, at full force. So, with her bare hands. How about there are a couple of questions in here, but they're more on theories and stuff. But what about for new characters specifically introduced in this volume? Like that character that maybe not is like your favorite, like it contends with being a favorite character, but you're just so glad thinking back, like, I'm so glad they introduced
The waitress.
The waitress. Yes! The waitress!
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I have to say, like, the shipmaster, too.
The shipmaster, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, mine has to be Mama Belladonna.
Yes!
Oh my gosh. Just her dorkiness and her semi-flirtatiousness with Sun, kind of like, oh, I like him. Like, she
The whole
was so
cover
funny.
theory.
Yeah, and yes, her name is Kali. Okay, that's I think that's the Hindu god of like
Death
war
or something.
or like death, which basically gives me this picture of Kali Belladonna. Oh, I'm so sweet. I'm the nice mom, best mom. And then if you like,
If you
she has
so
to
much as
fight-
touch her daughter.
Right. She like goes crazy and like brings out tons of blades or something and just eviscerates you. So that was my character. I'm like so glad they introduced.
I
about you, Jacob?
consider Cinder to be a new character in this one.
Oh.
Like, because they changed her so much. Because, I mean, before she was kind of like, okay, generic villain, scheming, and blah, blah, blah. And she had some good lines and everything. But,
with
oh
the
my
voice.
gosh, the voice. Like,
The
the first time she spoke and she couldn't really speak, it just gave me chills. I was just like, holy crap. Because she's not top dog anymore.
Right.
She's
she's bottom of the food chain really
Yeah.
in regards to villains right now. I mean, she has the power, but she's beaten down, she's broken, she's lost her confidence. Watts is casually like making jokes about how pathetic she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cinder basically had a bit of a 180.
Like this feels like season 2 Zuko. I know that she's not going to become a good guy, but the idea of just losing everything and now having that struggle.
That's actually a really good comparison.
Like,
Yeah.
I love the comparison because there have been pictures of them together.
Yeah.
Zuko, because of the facial scar on the side. And
Yep.
that whole thing, that was a really funny.
Yeah, we're big Avatar Last Airbender fans, so we
Yeah,
draw
I
a lot
am
of
too.
comparisons in that. Which there
That show
actually
was
were
my
quite a
childhood.
few of those in this volume in particular.
Yeah.
But wait, was that Rusty? Rusty, I want to say something.
No, he was commenting
that
on
was
Avatar.
To Avatar.
Oh well, whatever. Yeah.
I'm a fan. But one other
But-
thing that got like a huge boost this volume was the Grim.
The
oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh my
The
gosh.
Much
Grim.
better.
Okay, let's count off. We have the Geist Grim. We have Barry the Sea Dragon.
No.
We have the gorilla.
We have the Gorilla Grim.
We have the
Harambe
tentacle
Grim.
observer.
We have the Tentacle Observer Seeker Grim. We have the Knucklevi, of course. We had the whole thing with their eyes and the smoke effects. They were generally just a lot more scary. Like they were scarier.
Yes.
And the Beowulfs got like a reboot sort of thing. They got a new ish form and that sort of thing.
So that was like half a dozen new Grimm this volume, and they were all awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And then also a lot of the Grimm would have moments where they would have like I don't know, like their tongue out, or just kind of general kind of animalistic kind of prowling moments and stuff. Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind when I think of that is in the character trailer when the Beowulf is throwing rocks at Ruby.
Yes. And though that wasn't really in the show, that was just like, wait, what?
That was pretty great.
Yeah, and then the Gorilla Grim throws the Beowulf in like a spinning attack at Ruby. That was pretty awesome. Okay,
Calm down there, Bowser.
Right, yeah. We have the Grimm. So moving forward, we're all great fans of RWBY. We don't know how long it's going to be. This seems like the the beginning parts of a new arc. What are some things you're looking forward to in particular?
Neo.
Okay, all right, Neo, but also like plot moments. Like I remember, Josh, you said you want Team Stark flashbacks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what about things specifically that we don't have any hints of coming, or they're less hinted at as being happening? Like we know that Haven is going to get attacked, right? But like, what's something that you're like, oh, I hope this happens?
How did Roman get tied into this?
Sure, Roman backstory. Yeah.
And I mean, if Neo comes back, that's when we're gonna get it. But
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, some people are sounding out the comments that they'd like to see Jean and Pyrrha's families.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense because Pyrrha was from Mistral, right?
What?
Or she was at least from the Anima continent. So there is a
Okay.
decent possibility of her coming back. Stoic Drug says we want more Silver-Eyed Warrior reveals.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh, Penny
Yeah.
rebuilt and Dictator Ironwood.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Let's talk about the Atlas things.
that's
Ironwood was so awesome.
Well, that was in the previous episode. But
Well, yeah,
he
that
was
was-
awesome
Under
throughout
martial
this
law.
volume.
Just all the way. Yeah.
It's going to come down to martial law in Atlas,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if it's not already there.
for sure.
Right.
What are you going to say, Sonatro?
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm gonna have to say my goodbyes because dinner is done.
Oh, okay. Good having you here,
All
man.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you for my accepting my random barging in.
No worries,
Will you
man.
be joining Quiplash?
Catch you
I'll
later.
I'll be sure to ask next time.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
All right,
That's
later.
That's what's great about being part of the community. All right, so Ironwood. This is something Jacob and I covered in our reaction, but Ironwood is giving that similar vibe from Volume 2 when he was first introduced. Do you remember how when he was first introduced, everyone had this, who's this guy? It's from Atlas with all the military.
I still don't trust him.
You still don't trust him?
No.
Good job. Ever the pessimist.
I will always be pessimistic.
But see, the thing is
Depends on
he's
what
got
I
all
do.
this power. He's got all this power, and it might go to his head.
Even if he does go Dictator, I'm still going to be rooting for him.
Well, here's
Well,
here's another thing to call into question here. Remember the Great War, World of Remnant? Despite whatever your opinions were about it, you notice this is very similar to how the war started. Was Atlas imposed some very controversial laws, and then that spread over to Mistral, and then things started getting a little dicey, and then war started. So does this feel like all this has happened before and this will happen again kind of moment?
Actually, I do slightly agree with that. I mean, I recently wrote a story on the Amino about everything coming full circle. It was more focused on RWBY,
Gotcha.
but it's the whole idea that it is a pattern. It is a circular pattern that will continue to repeat itself till the end of time.
Yeah, very much like a lot of other sci-fis. I like that aspect in storytelling because that's how history is those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Even Ublek literally says that in RWBY.
That's
He's like,
true.
history is important, gentlemen. If you don't learn from it, and then ominous, you're destined to repeat it. Which is yes, Ironwood is not that stupid, Sony Tapman. I agree, but I feel like having two seats on the council, control of Atlas's school and military, absolute power corrupts, and power corrupts absolutely. Like that's
I was about to quote that exact thing as well.
Great minds think alike, Rusty. Yep.
I was like, I don't want to be the guy to quote Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor, but come on.
Well, it's older than Jesse Eisenberg, so you're good.
I mean, I was gonna go for that exact quote.
Right, gotcha. Godspeed. What is your amino name? We're gonna get through to that at the end, but at least for ours is Semblance of Sanity, so it lines up with the YouTube name and stuff, so it's pretty easy to find. But yeah, y'all in the chat, if you're not already on the RWBY Amino app, you should join that because it's fantastic. It's probably the best way to connect with the RWBY fandom. It's fantastic. Oh, bye, Bastion Solinger. This is great having you here. Yeah. Okay, so where are we at? We're talking about Ironwood.
Yeah.
The things moving forward. I think that's where they're wanting to head it. They're wanting to head it towards more global tension, towards another potential great war. Very much kind of using the board game moment in Volume 2 that was like dripping with foreshadowing as kind of the greater conflict comes into picture here with the chessboard getting filled up with Ozpin's pieces and Salem's pieces, which will be interesting because now Ozpin isn't really the king anymore. He's another chess piece.
Yeah.
So it'll be kind of interesting to see that. Josh, what are your thoughts about kind of moving forward?
Josh is currently away. Oh, nope, looks like he's back. Never mind.
Josh might be having some mic difficulties, but that's okay.
Yes, he did say he would be back, but that was about
no worries.
3 minutes ago.
No worries. Jacob, what about you?
Going forward, I really hope that while they keep it building like the epic scale and everything, they still have the small, more local, personal conflicts and stuff. One of the things that I get kind of disappointed when big stories do this is that they get so big that you lose that small feeling that you have in the beginning. And RWBY's had some great moments with that so far. So I want to make sure they at least keep those in there when it gets to, the fate of the world is in the balance.
You're right. Yeah. And that's going to stay grounded, I think, because they're still going to be focusing around the team aspect of the show. So you'll still have that core group of characters.
Which is one of the reasons why I want Cinder, Emerald, Mercury, and Neo to form their own team, not to be on any side, but to sort of be doing their own thing. That way, even when there's the big armies, you can maybe occasionally go to like some separated team that's looking at things much, much smaller.
Sure. That would be interesting because that's also an Avatar thing that we want to have, kind of, is the way that Avatar had Aang's story going along parallel with Zuko's story, but Zuko still had his team with Iroh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even then for the villains, they at one point had their group of Azula, Ty Lee, and them and stuff. So parallel storylines is awesome. They're ambitious. They're hard to do, but we have faith in the CRWBY to be able to pull it off pretty well. So maybe once you're able to, bring back the team together, bring back Team RWBY, and maybe combine Ruby and Juniper's remnants together, and then you could have another parallel storyline going off in the, along the side with that. So who knows? What's going on in the comments? Sonatro's saying in the chat that he wants Yang's PTSD to play a larger part. Yeah. I think that's just bound to happen because Adam can't exist in this world forever.
Right.
He's just too much of a dick.
Yeah.
Rusty, you want to chime in on that?
On the PTSD?
Yeah, the PTSD and it kind of playing a larger role in the future for Yang.
Well, I believe I said it earlier. I do believe that we will get more of that. The only reason she has pulled it together right now is because of RWBY.
Right. That's her new purpose for moving forward right now, is she needs to protect her younger sister.
Sure.
Exactly. So I do see once the team is back together, I do see her having these issues come up again, especially when they run into the White Fang again.
Gotcha. Yeah. Um. Okay. So. Yeah. Sonatro is still in the chat. And he's posting that reference to our quiplash about just wait for the Mars rover semblance. It'll find something in Adam. Yeah, this is a joke, guys, on stream that. A bunch of us, we play RWBY version of Quiplash, which, by the way, we can just do that right now. You are all invited to join us.
Yeah.
If you're on the RWBY Amino app, you'll be able to see the post when it should be up actually already. But there is a RWBY themed Quiplash event that we do, and it is hilarious and funny, and we've created a bunch of just stupidly funny, almost like RWBY memes of the whole thing. If you don't know what Fort Port is, then you need to join us on Quiplash and stuff. All the details will be in the Amino app and stuff. I might make a comment after this video's uploaded, but it's going to be at, I believe, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Is that right, Rusty?
Yes, I do believe that is right. I believe that's what we came up with last night.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that's right. I'll check my phone to confirm, but I'm like 95% sure it's at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
One crazy thought I just had. So if Oscar meets up with Team Ranger, then Oscar could become the new member of Team Juniper.
Oh.
That way they still have 4 on each side.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean,
I do see that being a possibility. Actually,
I don't know if that's going to happen, necessarily, but it's a good point. Oscar needs to fit in somewhere.
For all those people that wanted Team Ranger to be Team Orange, now it could be Team Orange.
Hey, that's. Wait.
Whoa!
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, because there's an actual O now.
Yeah.
So wait, guys. Let's sound it off in the comments. Are you cool with the name of the new Team Juniper being, Jean, Ren, Nora, and Oscar? So it'd be ORNJ, and that would be Orange. Yeah, Cat Cool Cat, exactly. ORNJ. Yeah, it's Stoic Drug saying Oscar / RWBY, that's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't know, but you guys ship whatever you want. That's cool. Yosef Germany says, Zomalanta just thought of something. What if Jean, Nora, and Ren form a team with Oscar, Orange, or they be reincarnation of Team Juniper?
Pine.
Jean, Nora, Pine, and Ren. Oh, that's pretty clever. I like that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, who knows? I mean, that would be fantastic. I mean, I'm fine with either one. So yeah, that's hey, there, sound off. Which one do you vote for? Do you want it to be Orange or the new iteration of Team Juniper with Pines replacing Pyrrha? I know that's a bit of a soft spot for everyone, but which one do you prefer, Orange or Juniper? Sound off in the comments which one you like more. All right, this has been a fantastic stream with everyone here. I just want to thank everyone so much for hanging out and watching with us. At the highest point, I think we had about 40 people watching here. It was a great pleasure to do this with you guys.
Yeah.
Jacob and I in particular are just so grateful to be a part of the RWBY fandom and community online, and kind of putting our little voices out there and letting you guys hear what we have to say, and
just how much we love this show.
It's so great. But also, there are some great, awesome people out there as a part of the fandom. We met a lot of them on the RWBY Amino app, and Josh and Rusty in particular. Also, Sonatro and some of the others are just awesome, fantastic people. Y'all gotta get kind of connected in that, so you can be a part of discussions and stuff that are happening right after the episodes. Rusty, what's your tag name in the RWBY Amino app?
Oh, it's just Rusty.
It's just Rusty. And they'll be able to
Rusty
find
L.
Rusty L. Awesome. Yeah. And then let me bring up mine on my phone real quick. Mine's just semblance of sanity. My brother and I both kind of use the info and stuff in there because we live together, so I can just pass everything on to him and stuff. But we're decently active on there. But there's also a whole lot of other awesome people on there. You should go and follow them as well. Josh, it's just named Josh, so he got lucky and got that name. He was the guy that was also talking on here as well. Sony Tapman in the chat there. It was Sonatro in the chat as well. I know there are also a lot of other awesome RWBY YouTubers as well, like Murder of Birds is up there, bunch of other ones as well. And yeah, give them a follow and stuff. And
Nerd of Oz is on there.
Oh yeah, give a shout out to a couple others, Rusty. There's some great community members on there.
You have Murder of Birds. Lady Stardust is on Amino, though she's no longer reacting.
Gotcha.
And the Nerd of Oz.
I
believe Alan also promotes Rick and Red on there as well.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. Oh, wait, Stroke Joy, I still believe this chapter should have been titled Squad Goals. Ha 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 ha. Nice. Oh, Jake the One Man Band is also on the RWBY Amino. Yep.
Yes, most of the reactors have actually taken to using Amino now as a way to promote their reactions.
Yeah. Oh. It's also great for that as well. Oh, man.
Looks like Aki-chan's here.
Oh, hey, Aki-chan. Yeah, from the Quiplash. That's awesome.
Yep, she has been in the comments the whole time, actually. I've been meaning to throw a shout out to her, but I kept spacing it.
Oh, I kept missing out. Oh, my bad. Well, it's glad to have you here. Hey, so letting you all know, I'm gonna leave actually the Twitch. I'm just gonna put the Twitch in the Twitch handle in the comments on the chat. At 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on this Twitch, we will be starting a RWBY-themed Quiplash. Yes, Puns of Damage. She is also on. She is also on the RWBY Amino app as well. Yep.
Storytime Family is not though.
No, they are not. Yeah, some of them aren't. So we need to shout out on their YouTube. Channels and videos and stuff, be like, hey, get on the RWBY Amino app, you're gonna love it. At least some of these ones that have like groups and stuff, Storytime Family in particular, at least one of them should get on the Amino app. And it's not like it's a crazy big investment or anything, but there's a lot of great interactions you can have on there. So here's the Twitch handle for the RWBY Quiplash game that we're going to be doing in 2 hours. Post that in the comments there. Be sure to check that out. It's a whole lot of fun. If you haven't played Quiplash before, I'd recommend checking out a Let's Play on YouTube. Super fun. Really ridiculous game when it comes down to it. And then we do all RWBY themed answers and stuff.
Absolutely. And then the last couple games we've actually continued on RWBY Cards Against Humanity afterwards.
Oh yeah, yes. Which is also equally fun
and crazy
because we're using a set of custom Cards Against Humanity
that have
cards
RWBY answers.
That have RWBY answers and stuff. So that one's pretty funny. But yeah, we're going to close the stream now. But thank you so much to everyone for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rusty, for being on the chat with us. I would say thank you to Josh. I know he had to go, but it was awesome having you guys.
Yeah.
Yep, it's no problem. It's the first time I've been on a live YouTube.
Yeah. That was so much fun. All right, so until next time, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.